Hello and welcome back to Talking Giants. It is September 28, 2025. And welcome to the Jaxson Dart era. The New York Football Giants are 1-0 in the Jaxson Dart era. They are 1-0 in the Shaun Justin Penick Talking Giants era. Shaun, what a game. The Giants win 21-18. Little bit of a gritty game. A lot of stuff went wrong. Of course, it wouldn't be a Giant game if it didn't. But also a lot of stuff went right. We're going to talk all about it. Shaun, how you doing, man? It's our first game recap together.
I'm so pumped up. Perfect timing. So happy to be here, Justin. So happy that some are saying you and I have saved the Giants season. Some are saying that.
It's this alliance, yes.
That's exactly what some are saying. But look, honestly, euphoric. And we're going to break it all down here, the good, the bad, all of that. But I think that I can speak for both of us when I say no matter how you got there, this team winning a football game in September after the start they've had and the week that got really wonky within, all the controversies and who said this and who said that. It is so good, and boy, does that make everything feel so much better as we look ahead, and we will later on in the week to the Saints game. But a win, man, is so needed for this team. Boy, did that feel good.
Yeah, I will say, too, there is a little bit of an ominous feel that I have right now with Malik Nabers most likely tearing his ACL.
Sure.
So I do want to just bring that up. I think we'll definitely circle back to that a little bit later on because I want to talk about Dart and everything like that. And shout out to the defense, too. I mean, those 2 turnovers forced leads to 11 points. And, the Giants actually converting a red zone opportunity into a touchdown. Jaxson Dart's first, I believe that led to Jaxson Dart's first passing touchdown to Theo Johnson. Little shades of Travis Kelce, Kansas City. Mike
yeah,
Kafka.
Baby.
I love it, man. So we're going to talk about that. Like, damn it. Nabers going down sucks, and it's going to create a little bit of a difficult road going forward. But let's talk about Dart's day overall.
Sure.
So he went 13 for 20, 65% completion percentage, 111 passing yards. It's 5.6 yards per attempt, 54 rushing yards, 5.4 yards per carry, 2 total touchdowns, took 5 sacks. His EPA per play was in the 41st percentile, 53% success rate, 7.1 average yards depth of target, and then 3.5 average depth of completion. I don't think anything was too extravagant, Shaun. There was nothing that really made me go, wow, holy shit, look at Jaxson Dart there. But it was gritty. It was enough. Led an efficient offense. I thought they found an identity on the ground as well. Let's talk about Jaxson Dart. What do you got?
Okay, so this is the way I would view Jaxson Dart's game. And I think that the level-headed Giant fan, and I know many of which are listening right now, watching us right now, however you're consuming, welcome into Talking Giants. Justin, I think you saw the bad that we were worried about as far as rookies making mistakes, right? I mean, not setting the right protection on that one monster sack off the right end when Illuminor takes the inside. And then just a couple of those sacks he took. The good news is he didn't panic throw those into interceptions or like Daniel Jones in his rookie year turn those into fumbles. But still, you would like to see him not kind of create some of his own sacks, which appeared at least, and we haven't been able to rewatch any tape on him. That was certainly the negative. But from the positive, I mean, look, he ran the offense. Brian Dable and Mike Kafka wanted him to run in this game. And does it look different if the Chargers are able to swallow up that rushing attack of Cam Scadaboo and at times Devin Singletary? Sure. But guess what? They didn't. So that was a working formula for the New York Giants today, which, I think limited the amount of times you're going to see the ball thrown. And you mentioned the Nabers injury too. How much of the passing game plan changes without a guy that, after you hear he's met for 10 hours inside the facility the other day, how much was it about, getting the ball to Malik Nabers? Well, a rookie quarterback versus a really good defensive coordinator losing his top wide receiver in the second quarter like that, that's going to make you rip up some of your throwing game plan. So overall, when you encompass all of that and you come off an entire week, I know we did it here. I know everybody's talked about it. Jesse Minter. Oh, Jesse Minter was in Michigan. He knows how to handle college offenses. I think that is an A-plus effort from Jaxson Dart. And no matter what would have happened with the defense on that last drive, he handed the ball back to the defense with 30 seconds left in the lead. Okay. Now I would have preferred a score, and I know we're going to get to that late when, he gets tackled. I guess it ended up being a sack on that third down run there inside the goal line. That killed me not getting points. But overall, Justin, it's not an A-plus because he made some rookie mistakes, but for a rookie in that spot under the circumstances, when you throw everything in a blender, I'm very pleased with what we saw from Jaxson Dart.
Yeah, I never thought that he looked overwhelmed. I never watched any play. I'm like, oh my God, the moment is too big for him. The 5 sacks as the game went on, I do think there kind of came a point Number one, where Nabers is out, because I feel like that's where he took the majority of his sacks is when Malik Nabers comes out. And they really, this offense, and rightfully so, is so designed around Malik Nabers as it should be. Like, a dude's literally targeted almost 40% of the time, which is like unheard of in the NFL, right? So the offense is really designed around Malik Nabers. So the 5 sacks are still like, okay, let's do a little bit better than that. But also, I love the way that he moves within the pocket. I really do, Shaun. It is not a lot of, and we talked about this in the preview, that this is kind of like what he did in the preseason, and we were hoping that he was going to be able to extend this and take this into Sunday, where he moves forward, he steps up in the pocket. The jump throws that he does are crazy. It's like it's almost he wants to jump and throw the ball. The dude just plays like a lunatic. Like that's I feel like that's where we're gonna move to next.
Right. Well, him and Scatterville combined. I mean, it's a duo of lunatics.
They're gonna die on the field together. So they're gonna be like brothers in arms, World War II veterans. They're gonna be hand in hand. They're gonna die on the field together because that's how they play. You see Cam's to start the second half. They showed a shot of his jersey and it's all beat up, and his helmet. I hope he keeps the same helmet every week because I want to see how that just goes to shreds throughout the season goes on. But I mean, Dart, man, like, moves throughout the pocket well, like that third down to Darius Slayton when you're on the shadow of your own end zone. I understand you don't score that drive, but that's huge to get a first down with the end zone behind your back.
That's the play, Justin, above everything else that they did. The Theo Johnson touchdown, the Jaxson Dart touchdown himself.
Yeah.
That is the play to me. If you're just simply watching this, forget the wins and losses aspect of it about evaluating quarterback play. I know the people I were watching the game with, we all turned around to each other and said, the hell was the last time you saw a Giants quarterback direct traffic on that, through a frenzy? I mean, because let's be real. We've all screamed and yelled, and with good reason, about the offensive line and having plays collapse. When was the last time a pocket started to break down and a quarterback rose up the pocket and waved a receiver back saying you have to come back to the ball, and did it so calmly and then connected with said receiver for a first down? You're right. It didn't result in points, but just from the idea of, hey, does this kid have it? Is this kid ready to play in the NFL? I thought that play above anything else was the most telling one today.
Yeah, I think there was a Daniel Bellinger throw on third down too.
Yeah.
That was really impressive over the middle of the field. And of course, what won't get counted in the stat sheet is early in the game. That first drive that was really miraculous. That first drive, and
not for nothing, puts a ball where Wan'Dale Robinson has 2 hands on it and has to catch it. I know they make a play on it, but like on fourth, that's not an easy throw to make, and he does it. Yeah,
well, I mean, I'm even talking about like early in the game where the defensive pass interference, where the ball gets down, inside the red zone. So, I mean, I thought, like, again, he did what he needed to do. Jaxson Dart, and that pumps you up.
Well, yeah, because it sounds so simple, Justin, but Giants football, do what you need to do, is not something often done.
No.
So, you know what I mean?
No.
So just from that standpoint, and I would ask any of our audience out there, were there moments today, and I know we had a lot of nerve-wracking and negative times in our thought process, were there moments today where you dropped your jaw and said, geez, that usually doesn't happen to us, like in a good way? Yeah. That, 3-4 times that happened today. That's probably a good sign with looking forward with this quarterback to take that out of his debut.
And towards the end of the game, as like there are situations where we have been before where it's like, well, they usually lose this game. They sometimes lose this game. They should be winning by more, but they're not winning by more. The other team
sometimes,
all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
All the time they lose that game. That's the other part of this. Yeah. All the time they lose that game. They lost that game 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So,
I mean, the moment Trent, was it Trent Green said it, or was it Harlan? Dicker's the most accurate kicker in NFL history. The moment he said that, what did everybody think? What did everybody think? The defense was going to give it up. They were going on the field. Dart didn't get enough done, and they were going to lose the game. This never happens the way they win a game like that. So it's a very positive sign, something to build on here with the Dart era.
See Dable and Dart at the end of the game?
I actually didn't. So full disclosure, I was so euphoric that they won, I ran up to the top of my pool deck and belly flopped in. So I actually did not see the lasting moment. What do we got? Oh, that's a great shot. Hugging each other for our podcast audience. Hugging each other. Was that a kiss? Did he kiss him on the cheek?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what a moment. What a moment.
Boy, when's the last time you saw Dable like that?
Certainly not on 3rd and 11 when he punted and almost risked a net of 20 yards. We didn't see him like that then, but you saw him there very pumped up. Oh, what a moment.
So he plays a little bit like a lunatic.
But that's good. I mean, it's good unless you're in the medical tent all game like he was for 2 plays. That can't happen.
There was a part of the game. Was there not a part of the game for you where you're thinking they need to take this guy out for his own good?
I thought he wasn't coming back out for the second half, to be honest with you. When he kept holding that hamstring at the end of the first half and he was running like that, it looked bad. And we already had the Nabers injury. And, you know, when you think about this Giant team and injuries, I really thought that we were going to come out of the second half with Russell Wilson throwing footballs and that for his own good, precautionary, all right, we saw enough from him, but we can't risk him getting hurt further. Here comes Russell Wilson. I was stunned he came out. I thought that was the moment where I feared he was not coming back out and they were going to protect him. But Dable, I think, wrote it out. And you know what else, too? When you play like that, and while a lot of it might be a little stupid and he's got to learn from it, doesn't that have to rub off on the team? Like, that is your leader, and that guy is just giving everything he has, blood and guts, and playing through injury and just low. Like, there has to be something said for that for an 0-3 team to look around and go, all right, man, this kid is just going to put everything on the line for us. Yeah,
especially, I mean, him and Scadaboo kind of together, like forming that the buzzword that we talked about all offseason is identity. I really wonder, I mean, I even though it looked like the hamstring wasn't impacting him that much in the second half, I wonder if it did, because the second half offense was not the same. Like these were his numbers from the first half: 7 for 11 for 59 yards. Now, he took 3 sacks in the first half, but he only lost 14 yards on him. Right. I feel like the 2 sacks that he took in the second half, he lost way more yards on him. And even the rushing offense overall was a lot more efficient in the first half, where they had 19 attempts for 95 yards. They were averaging 5 yards per carry as an offense, where Cam Scadaboo was 4.6 yards per carry, 10 attempts, 46 yards. And then Dart, 6 attempts, 44 yards, 7.3 yards per carry. And, of course, he had the rushing touchdown in the first half as well. So I honestly thought, like, I wonder how much that hamstring did impact him for the rest of the game and before that second half, even though it looked like he wasn't like outwardly limping.
He wasn't limping, so you wonder what happened in the locker room at halftime.
Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah, exactly. Something go on there to hurt it. But, I mean, you would think from a certain standpoint, or at least, you know, there had to have been moments where maybe he thought he would pick it up and run and just didn't. Even the throw, like I mentioned earlier, to Wandell on that 4th down, I feel like in the first half, he probably tucks that under and hopes he can run somebody over into the end zone, and he didn't. So I do think there was some hesitancy, and it clearly played a factor. How big a factor? I'm sure we'll find out as the week goes. But, you know, again, even if it did, just the gutting that out and the way he did it and not killing them with the big turnover either. I know they had that fumble that they fell on themselves, but not killing them with the big turnover was huge.
Yeah. I mean, if you're I know you're sitting here saying that he gutted it out and, you know, it's going to send a message to the rest of the locker room and the guys on the team. But for me, it's like this was too close of a call of this cannot happen.
Okay. So you lean negative on this. Like he's got like, okay, you got it out of you, but can you teach a psychopath not to be a psychopath?
No, I don't think you can. I think this is who he is.
Okay. Well, that would scare you.
It needs to be dialed back a little bit. This was insane. This was too much.
But you would agree there has to be extra adrenaline pumping through your body in a first game of your career.
Yeah.
It's at home, the team looking at you. I think he is going to mature. I do think he will get to a certain point and realize, you know what? I do need to slide because I can't keep this is now you saw in the preseason. So today I can't keep ending up in the medical tent being taken off the field. And that's the other part too. Dude, it's a league rule. Stop screaming and yelling every time you get sent to the tent. That's your lesson to be learned.
Yeah.
Don't yell at the refs about it. They're just getting the call down. Yell at yourself about it. I don't know what to do with my hands. I feel like we won a game, and I just don't know what to do now.
Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, this is crazy.
I don't know what to do with my hands. I want to keep talking about, of course, we're going to talk about Dart. Of course, we're going to talk about Scadaboo. I want to talk about the run game, and I kind of want to take a little bit of a victory lap because if you've been listening to me all off season, I've been repeating one thing, but I want to give a shout out to SeatGeek because today's episode is sponsored by SeatGeek. The MLB playoff chase is on and football season is here with SeatGeek, the MLB's official ticket marketplace. Your tickets are fully guaranteed, instantly fulfilled in your account after purchase. No more waiting for some random person to send you your tickets. You get them right away. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app in the world. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports, festivals, and more. Right now, you get tickets to baseball games. Go to the playoffs. Go see the Yankees. Go to the wild card game. NBA's coming up. NHL's coming up, not to mention tons of concerts and other events coming up. You know we came through for you guys. Use code GIANTS2025 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any tickets with promo code GIANTS2025. Or the Yanks beat the Orioles, or the Rays beat the Jays, and then the Yankees get a little vacation.
Not looking good right now. Not looking good.
So forget that. We'll plan on Tuesday.
I'll give you a positive. You want more positive to build on. Depending on when you're listening to this, you'll probably already know this, but Yankees look like 6 o'clock starts instead of 7 o'clock starts. You get home nice and early this week.
All right.
How about that?
I want to take a victory lap on the Giants rushing offense. And I don't know if this was something that was really on purpose or something that they kind of just stumbled into, because Jaxson Dart is not ready to take under center snaps yet on a full scale. The fumble in the shadow of your own end zone was bad. And Andrew Thomas, what a heads up play falling on that football. And Shaun, it even looked like Andrew Thomas didn't just fall on it. It almost looks like he shielded the ball away from the end zone. So if he fell on it, would have been a safety. In the end zone, he would have been a safety. But instead, he falls on it at like the 1 yard line. Giants keep the ball. Jamie Gillian has a nice punt. Jamie Gillian, a little underrated low-key MVP today.
Yeah, okay. So a couple things before we get to that, the punting aspect of it. Heads up play by Andrew Thomas. I completely agree with you. That was a veteran with knowledge of not only am I falling on the ball, I have to know exactly where the ball is. And that could have easily been a game-changing play the other way. Extremely heads up. Not sure if Marcus Bowe falls on that the right way. So for anybody who wants to say, oh, you know what? Andrew Thomas, the rotation, whatever, you saw enormously what a big deal that could be. Now, that leads to the punt. I don't, what are we, 20 minutes in, 15 minutes in? I think it's okay to mention this.
Right now?
First of all, I can't believe you're calling him Jamie Gillian. His name's Jamie Gillen. That's right off the bat. That's my first I can't believe it moment out of Justin Pennick. Here's the second one. Jamie Gillen, that's his best game as a New York Giant.
I agree.
I am stunned at what Jamie Gillen pulled off, punting out of the shadow of their own end zone twice. Some of those booming kicks that he had, and the coverage unit too, by the way. And man,
great.
The big play at the end too. Just incredible. And for a team that seemingly cannot put together a full game, and I know we're going to talk about the defense soon, this game had all the ingredients of special teams absolutely wrecking it, right? The rookie quarterback has it. The defense has it. And instead, special teams, and hey, Jude, congrats to him for a couple made field goals too.
Yeah.
But the punts, the Scottish Hammer, I'm sorry. I don't know if he was, all pumped up because the NFL International Series started today. But either way, by the way, keep him out of there with his passport. Either way, that was his best game as a Giant. I mean, that was a complete game changer. You saw the other, when the Chargers punt and they're pinning us, right? That play that led to the fumble and those plays. We don't get great punts. And today, I thought Jamie Gillen was just on his game. That was incredible.
Found a role for Deonte Banks, returning kicks back to the 40.
What the hell? Where did that come from, too?
Well, out of desperation, since there's only 2 active running backs.
Okay, and I know we questioned this on Saturday. I know you and I didn't, but there was all the thought about who was going to be the other kick returner. They're not elevating Turbo. When I saw number 2 running up the field, did everybody have that same feeling, which was, okay, I guess you can contribute in that way? And Banks, by the way, who, again, the highs and the lows. I mean, that play at the end of the half was terrible.
I want to save it. Save it.
But I cannot believe he was returning kicks.
Rushing offense. I'm going to take a victory lap. All offseason, talked about, man, if you look at Tyrone Tracy's numbers, under center versus shotgun, averages a whole yard per carry greater out of the shotgun. And I had this thought, like, I don't think this Giants offensive line is a kick-ass offensive line that's going to move heaven and earth and move people. And I think there's even numbers to back this up. I'm saying every week in my head, I want to do this. If you look at the total weight, like the weight of offensive linemen, like if you add all 5 guys up and what's their weight, and I think the Eagles are up there. They were talking about that week 1 when we play the Commanders, that the Commanders are now up there. I don't think the Giants are a heavy unit. I don't think they are. So I don't think they can do a great job moving people. But what I think they can do well is I think they can move well together. And that's what they've done under Carmen Priscillo. They move well up to the secondary level together. Even if they don't get a lot of movement off the line, I think they work well together. And I think there's good communication between the 5, especially considering that they're all coming back together going into this second year. So what we saw today, Shaun, out of either necessity with Jaxson Dart, and clearly it was the plan because they don't feel confident with him running under center and taking those snaps. But I think we're hopefully going to see the start of a fun identity of this Giants offense. Cam Scatterbo, Jaxson Dart out of the shotgun, operating with a little bit of space. You have to be afraid that Dart's going to take this ball and run. You have to be afraid that Dart is going to take the ball and throw. There were plenty of times in the second half where clearly in RPO, you see Darius Slayton and other receivers like Wando Robinson running slants in the middle of the field as Cam Scatterbo gets a nice 3, 4, or 5 yard play on a chunk. Like, oh, well, that's an RPO. Maybe Jaxson Dart feels like he can take that ball if he feels like his hamstring isn't screwed up. So I really like the foundation of running out of shotgun, screw running out of center, which we have not been able to do for the last 2 years, running out of shotgun, and forming an identity that way, because I thought it really, really worked. And Giants outpossessed the Chargers by almost 11 minutes today, 35 minutes time possession for that.
Yeah, look, that's got to be the bread and butter, right? Because it killed the Giants in the Russell Wilson-led offense. At least the first 2 weeks. They did get something cooking last week on the ground. But like you mentioned, the dynamic of Dart and being able to like that shotgun stuff. And I just think it makes life easier for now on our interior play, specifically the guards, and getting to that level and some of the dual blocks they've had inside, just that extra second to breathe. Now, where it kills them having to run the ball like that and having be the strength is when you get inside the 5 yard line and you're trying to pound it in. That's the gift and the curse, right? So look, I will take an offense that is generating time of possession, churning up, making the third downs a little easier to convert. But Justin, the negative on that, and you saw it late in the game, is, you know, you keep running like that, you're not exactly under center and everybody's just kind of driving forward. You know, for instance, the Eagles score inside, the 1 or the 2, like the Giants failed to do. And that is where it's going to come back to cost them. So they need to get a little more creative. I'm not going to use the word inside the red zone because there's a little more space to operate, but at least inside the 5, if that's their identity, well, how the hell are you going to punch it in though, too?
Yeah. What else with the rushing offense, Shaun? Do you have anything other? And how about we pivot to this now?
How about Devin Singletary not fumbling the ball? He came close.
All right.
How about that?
Malik Nabers feared that he has torn his ACL.
And look, usually when you hear feared, that's what happened.
He tore his ACL.
He tore his ACL. And again, there are probably people listening to this that already have the news if you're, a little late on the punch, and that's fine. It's devastating. I mean, there's no other way around it. Let's be real. You could hear a tone in Justin and myself's voice today, which is really pumped up, almost relieved. How much more a next level of excited are we if Malik Nabers doesn't tear his ACL? I think we all.
Oh my God, I would be over the moon.
Right? You know what I mean? Like there definitely is a tick down. All of us are, because let's be real. It's the worst possible person that this team could lose for their rookie quarterback, and you just got Andrew Thomas back. You know what I mean? Like, you just get Andrew Thomas back. Now you lose Malik Nabers. It's just that was a moment today where I thought the franchise is cursed. Now, they did win the game, which I never saw coming after that injury happened, but it sucks. There's no other way to do it. Now, what happens going forward? Well, look, you nailed it. They're going to be a run identity team. I think Cam Scatterbo now becomes the best skill player on this Giants team. They're going to need more from Darius Slayton, who I think looked at least more involved and more like he had a pulse today than he did under Russell Wilson. Although it was odd seeing kind of Wandale Robinson have a step back. Hopefully Theo Johnson could take a step, but there's never going to be a way to completely replace and replicate when you have a top 5 wide receiver in football. This isn't the Bengals where you're going from Jamar Chase to T. Higgins. So that's going to sting. So to me, it really just depends on what, and this isn't a big picture time for the podcast, it's more reactionary, what you thought about the Giants with Dart. Like, did you walk away from today going, hey, maybe suddenly we have the next hot thing at rookie quarterback and the defense found an identity and, oh my God, maybe, this team rattles off and wins games they're not supposed to? Okay, well, if you believe that, I'm going to just be here to tell you that's probably not going to happen, but they're going to have to get more creative in how they win football games. Can I give you the biggest take that will get hated on? It's not the one we discussed pre-show. Biggest take that will get hated on from this. Maybe there's a world where for the rest of this season, this makes Jaxson Dart a better quarterback, where maybe he's not just relying on bailing out and throwing to Nabers all over the place.
You really are. You and Tommy, man, you guys turn sometimes the shittiest thing into and you're saying this as an hour after the game has ended. An hour
I think
and a
it
half after the game
sucks.
has ended.
You have two things you could do after Malik Nabers gets hurt. You could mope around like Brandon Tierney would say, like a loser, or you could tie the strings on your pants because we know we're not wearing buttons on a Sunday. We all get fat and try to find a positive. This sucks. They're not going to be able to replicate it. But there is a world where Jaxson Dart now is going to have no choice but to spread the ball around, and he's not going to have number one sitting there on every case of an emergency. Does it make him a little tougher and a better quarterback down the line? I don't know. But I'm trying to find any reason for optimism because this absolutely sucks. So, by the way, Justin, sue me then. Okay? What do you want me to tell you?
I hope you're right. But I mean, this is, one of the things that we've been talking about throughout the year is even with Malik Nabers on the team, just not being so Malik Nabers and Wan'Dale Robinson dependent, where, okay, Darius Slayton, okay, Theo Johnson. And it was great to see Theo be targeted in the red zone. I really wish that instead of 5'5" Wan'Dale Robinson going up for that touchdown grab on a 4th down, I really wish that Theo Johnson, who was standing right next to Wan'Dale Robinson, it was somehow Theo Johnson that went up for it instead of Wan'Dale.
Dart could have threaded it a little, lower and hit Theo there too. He was open. But, the other thing, we saw Jalen Hyatt play on the field today. Now he's going to have more of an opportunity. It's almost alarming that he had zero impact on the game when he got on the field and he was playing and Nabers got, like, that almost scares me more. Like, you really are a zero, dude. You finally get your opportunity in this kind of offense. But they almost have no choice unless Bo Collins is really going to get worked into the mix here.
Oh, yeah, he will.
And I'm
more than Jalen Hyatt.
You think? I mean, but it almost felt like, I don't have the snap count in front of me. We saw Bo Collins those couple of weeks. I feel like I noticed Hyatt this week. And did Bo Collins even play a snap on offense?
Yeah, he did. He was open on there was a sack that Dart took, and he was open on a comeback on the sideline. Hit route, comeback on the sideline.
Okay,
left sideline.
So I totally didn't see that. And again, we're watching.
And Rodney in the YouTube chat did mention Jalen Hyatt did have some good blocks today. I cannot believe we're at the Kenny Golladay 2022 level with Jalen Hyatt, where we're complimenting his fucking blocking. Okay.
Hey, got to contribute.
Two Darius Slayton plays that I liked outside of the comeback. It seemed like they were run some curls over the middle of the field. There was like a 3rd and 15 where they throw it in the short part of the field. He gets a bunch of yards after the catch. Really clutch 3rd down conversion there too. Dart was more than we're talking about it. Dart was really good on 3rd down today. Seemed like that, and then the comeback on the sideline where Dart scrambles those 2 curl routes over the middle of the field to kind of keep things moving. That was Darius Slayton's impact, and I think he was the Giants' leading receiver. They get 44 receiving yards. That's basically it. And then you have Theo Johnson too. One of my favorite plays of Dart on the day is Theo Johnson on 3rd down late in the game as they're kind of driving down the field. They need to take time off the clock. Dart looks left, 2 receivers to his left, comes back to the middle of the field to Theo Johnson, who's open for like that check down valve, move the chains, 1st down Giants. That was one of my, I would say, favorite throws of Dart on the day. If the Darius Slayton is number 1, that's number 2, where he's kind of going to his first, probably 2 reads on the left, and then coming back to Theo in the middle of the field for his 3rd read. So,
Justin, I'm going to stop you right there. That is my not so obvious turning point of the game today.
Oh, yes.
Okay, this is a segment we're going to try to implement after each and every game. So, the reason I say that is there are obvious moments that you could point to, turning points in the game. I mean, the one that jumps out to me specifically is probably the Brian Burns sack, because that kind of felt like that was the real moment where it was, holy crap, they're going to win the game. But the not so obvious one is just the idea of, and again, when you think back to the opening day versus the Commanders and the Theo Johnson drops, when you think about starting a rookie quarterback and trusting him with the ball in the hands, not just to simply run, get stuffed, make them burn a timeout, but we're going to put the ball in your hands. We're going to trust you to find the read, and we're going to trust our, young tight end that we've hyped up that's had some drop issues to catch a football. That to me, I know it happens very late in the game. That is the not so obvious turning point of the game, because it took 2 to tango there. It took trusting Dart, and it took Theo Johnson actually holding onto the ball and not being short of the sticks, being very aware. I thought that play was so enormous to the outcome today here, Justin.
Man, what is my not so obvious turning point of the game?
Jamie Gillen punt? You want to go back?
Yeah, I honestly.
That was the other one I contemplated.
Honestly, man. Like, that's getting good field position.
Yeah.
Winning that, I hate this phrase. I hate this football old man phrase so much. Winning the field position battle. I hate it. Hate that it even came out of my mouth. Yeah, the punt, after the fumble, punt out of the end zone, Jamie Gillian, not so obvious turning point of the game.
You're going to drive me nuts. You are going to drive me nuts the rest of the season if you keep calling him Gillian.
Oh, shit.
You're going to drive me nuts.
Gillen.
I get so much wrong, believe me.
I have a hard time with Darius Muasu, too. It's Muasau.
Muasau.
I say Muasu.
Wow, that shocks me. Now, I get normal words wrong, but I would think a Mr. Justin Pennick would be so locked into certain Giants players' names. And by the way, I say this lovingly. I say lovingly. Gillian. You sound like my father when he sits next to me and he can't pronounce anybody. Where's Boo Collins?
Oh, nice.
You know?
I'm not that bad. Yeah. I'm not that bad. Defensive side of the ball, Shaun? Let's move to it.
This is perfect, Justin. And look, I'm going to let you go where you got to go. Obviously, here you're the quarterback here on Talking Giants. You're the Jaxson Dart of the show. But let me just say this: Jaxson Dart is going to be the story today for a lot of reasons. It's his first ever start. They win the game, right? He has some moxie. They lose Malik Nabers. That's another part of the story. But in reality, what we expected at the beginning of the year from the Giants defense, we finally saw come to fruition today. We just did. And I think that if this wasn't a rookie quarterback's first start, and I think, if you didn't lose your star wide receiver to a torn ACL, and this wasn't a team winning the first game, like, the biggest story of the day is this defense is everything we dreamed of today. And Brian Burns getting that sack late. Abdul Carter with some of the pressures, although obviously kills you. Was it Abdul? Oh, on the jumping off sides. I mean, killed you on that play. Yeah. But outside of that, you get a couple turnovers. Dexter Lawrence, he had an impact play early, and then he has the tipped up interception. The Drew Phillips interception would have been nice to get either of those into the end zone. But nonetheless, creating turnovers. There were some penalties, but it wasn't a complete flag barrage on the defense overall. And just, they took advantage of a team that lost Joe Alt early in the game and a team that we knew was banged up on the offensive line to begin with. That's what you should do. And you're getting so close, I think, to like a 3-sack game from Abdul Carter at this point, too. I mean, his bend today was outrageous. So overall, I think probably the biggest nuanced Giant take is the freaking defense versus Justin Herbert and the Chargers today. Albeit, you don't like the Hampton run. There were a couple big plays that drives you nuts. But overall, 18-point effort. I thought they made impact plays when they had to be made.
Oh, how about this? Not so subtle. What are we calling the segment?
The not so obvious turning point of the game.
Not so subtle, not so obvious turning point of the game. Abdul Carter getting a QB hit on Justin Herbert, which forces the grounding penalty. And then they're driving the ball down the field. They kick a field goal versus getting a touchdown. Boom. That's mine. I'm changing it.
I like that. Teams. Great call. Home run by Ben Rice, by the way, Yankees lead. Great call. The thing that scared the death out of me, and credit to the refs on this, did everybody else think that was a roughing the passer penalty the moment you saw the flag get thrown?
No, Zion Johnson clearly blocked everybody, including Kayvon, into Justin Herbert. Forget the fact that Kayvon wrapped up Justin Herbert. Also, great call by the refs on missing Roy Robertson-Harris getting another roughing the passer penalty today on a 3rd and 3.
They avoided some big ones today.
Where he hits
in
Herbert's face. In the face.
I couldn't believe that was
Roy Robertson-Harris. It was cool that you're aggressive and you hit the quarterback the first couple of weeks of the season. Now the tuxedos seem kind of fucked up. Stop doing that.
Also, now 3 minutes ago when I just said good job by the defense avoiding the flag barrage, well, maybe that was just the refs avoiding it. But either way, we were owed a couple.
Hey, I'll take it because usually sometimes it goes the other way around. You mentioned the Giants pass rush, and man, Giants QB hits on the day. Abdul Carter had 5. And this is Pro Football Reference, by the way. Pro Football Reference quarterback hits, and because sometimes other stats and other sites like to round things up. If you have a 3 quarterback hit day, like I think that's a really good game. Abdul Carter had 5. Brian Burns had 4. Kayvon Thibodeau had 3. So you're right. Abdul Carter is close to getting that sack. I thought just based off of the eye test that he aligned as an edge rusher more this week compared to last week. Now, last week they were without Darius Muasau. out with the concussion. He had a tackle for loss.
He did.
A tackle for loss today too.
He actually didn't look like a disaster on the field today.
No, which was nice. Some big runs allowed, so you always gotta watch. And
big pop on the sideline too. Bobby Okereke today too. I thought that was a huge send a message kind of hit on the sideline.
But Abdul Carter lined up at edge more, where I think last week with the lack of interior linebackers, Demetrius Flanagan Fowles also makes a comeback today too. So there's more just linebackers that have pulses on the roster, so you don't need to have Abdul Carter lined up as an interior linebacker. But nice to see him as an edge rusher. But Shaun, man, Brian Burns is everywhere.
He is
everywhere. He is lining up as an edge rusher, stunting and twisting to the A-gap, getting pressures and hits that way. He is dropping back into coverage, making plays on receivers that catch screens. He is everywhere. He is making tackles. He is a pass rusher. And like doing I didn't think Brian Burns is, I'm thinking my Brian Burns type player. You line him up at edge and you don't think twice. You have him just go to work. I think he's been more productive and versatile
chess piece
than Abdul Carter at this point in the year. Abdul Carter has lined up in more places, but in terms of making plays and coverage and tackling and doing everything, Brian Burns has been insane.
Yeah, and this is different when you look at the All-22, but just watching the game on the TV broadcast, there are times Burns comes flying up the field and you're like, where the hell were you on that play?
Everywhere.
And number 0 just pops. But inevitably, as good as that was, man, you pay a player like Brian Burns to make closing plays. And I thought that today, that sack, which was the defensive play of the game, there's no doubt about it at the end, it was so reminiscent of a couple of the plays we saw Kayvon make in 2022 in that season. Obviously hitting Lamar Jackson, the play on Rodgers, the play versus the Commanders. Like that was reminiscent. You saw a true pass rusher make a closer's move and call game, essentially, versus an elite quarterback. And I mean, that's everything you dream of when you trade for a Brian Burns, but you're right. He does so much more than that, but it was so nice despite all of that to have just that signature moment.
So 4 games in, Brian Burns has 5 sacks and he has 9 quarterback hits.
He's playing like an all-pro.
His best season was 12.5 sacks and 22 quarterback hits. Jeff, text me 17 game pace stats. I need it.
That's it. Well, and I would be disappointed now at this point. By the way, he's on pace for over 20 sacks. That's my early math on that. I would be disappointed if he did not get over 12.5 sacks as the season stands now.
Yeah, 100%.
You have to be. You're 5 sacks in 4 games. So think about it. It's 17 games, but 16 divided by 4 is 4. So through a 16-game pace, you're at 20 sacks.
Oh, good for you. Oh, wow. That's all right. I don't know if he's going to get 20. What about quarterback hits? I just said
9, right?
9.
So he's on pace for 36 at least, and with another game to wiggle after that.
That's a lot. I don't know if 36. Man, that would be crazy.
Hey,
he's not going to. There's no way he's going to do that. But that's
crazy.
Really good.
It's only crazy until you do it.
It's only crazy until you do it. Jeff, you don't need to text me anymore. Stop doing math.
Yeah, that's right. I got 2 kids in school. I know how to do math, kid.
But what Jeff wants me to do is he wants me to give a shout out to Nike because we have an awesome new partnership with them. So go check out our affiliate link in the description below to shop some amazing Nike gear. Get yourself a Jaxson Dart jersey. What top speed did Dexter Lawrence hit on his interception return? Did you see this?
I did not see.
Oh, I love it. Then you know what? Let's give it to me.
Oh, top speed for Dexter Lawrence. I'm really bad at this stuff, but he was slow but fun.
He was not slow. He was moving. He was scooting.
13 miles an hour?
No, more.
19?
Less.
16.
17.3.
17.3.
He was scooting. I think it's only 1 mile an hour slower than what Dart got on his touchdown.
It sucks that he ran out of gas.
He tripped. I thought he was going to catch his feet.
Yeah.
And then dive in.
Could you imagine the touchdown dance we would have got, the sexy Dexy in a touchdown version?
I think they all would have not known what to do with themselves because they would have all just jumped on each other.
It stinks getting that. So at least they didn't pay for it, right? You know, you end up going overtime, you lose the game, you got to look back and go, man, if he didn't fall and got in the end zone, that's another 4 points. Feels good to be able to laugh about those plays and not be worried that we weren't chasing points as a result.
There's still bad things on this defense. There's still really bothersome things.
Oh, you mean like when you go up 11 and you immediately give up a 50-yard run? Is that what you mean? Or do you mean like giving up a long bomb to Quentin Johnston with Deonte Banks as his head so far up as you know what, that you don't know what's going on? You mean those bad things? Because they did.
I'm sick and tired of Shane Bowen being like, well, the run defense was good outside of the big plays we allowed. It's like, yeah, buddy, like that shit matters.
Was that the moment you thought we were losing today? We all had a moment today where we thought we were losing.
No,
my moment
was
the 50-yard run.
I was very calm.
Really?
I was very calm all throughout the day. You want to know what I did this morning? I cleaned out a storage unit.
Really?
I was calm. Yeah.
I've been pacing, dude. I couldn't sleep. I woke up at 6:45. I walked my dog 3 miles, put the crap in somebody else's garbage pail, and then I went swimming this morning. I've been pacing all day. I couldn't. Last night, I hated myself. I tweeted this out that I thought we were winning today, and now I don't hate myself anymore. Spot on, baby.
So defense still has issues. Yeah, man. Like Tyler.
But okay. All right. Tyler Nubin, problem. Tyler Nubin also kind of made a couple plays today, at least tackling.
But dude, like, what are we doing, man?
I know. You know me. I said on the last episode, I'm anti-Nubin, but there were a couple moments where I was like, oh, he actually made the tackle today.
Yeah.
But yeah,
early in the game, and then as the game went on, it got very, very bad and bad angles and bad everything, and he's still. I can't even talk about him in pass coverage because I don't know what the hell he's doing because he doesn't touch a football.
As bad as it was, though, Justin, this is an offense with, again, Justin Herbert. I know their offensive line's banged up and the Alt injury might have changed everything. I get all that. They had all 3 of their wide receivers. If I were to tell you last week on Friday, hey, guess what? The Giants are giving up 18 points and getting 2 turnovers. Would you have signed for that? Would you have said that, you know what, we probably played good defense in that game?
Yeah, Chargers were 0 for 1 in the red zone, yeah.
Okay. So in the end, I need to remind you, because I was stressed out and I was flipping out about the defense. You got to look at the end result. It was not. If it was perfect play where a couple of those plays that we're screaming and yelling about and Nubin and everything doesn't happen, I mean, they might shut them out today. So in the end, that kind of crap can't happen, and they got to tackle and whatever, but it's still 18 points. They give up 18 points to this team today.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good team. They're a one of the reasons why I thought we were going to really get our ass kicked this game. And the offensive line really does, like, their offensive line really is in a bad spot, and Joe Alt goes down early, and yeah, but that's football, man. That's football, and it's all part of it. But this Harbaugh team is a well-coached team.
Yes. And
that is they know how to win football games close, and when it comes down to it, I know Herbert has some of his questions in the fourth quarter, but guess what? It's not December and January yet, so Herbert's going to be really damn good. So the fact that we were able to take advantage of that and finish out a game against a coach that has his team prepared and is known for winning these football games versus us, we're not known for winning them. I'll definitely take it, but still, just certain issues with this defense. Deonte Banks cannot be on the football field anymore.
No, he sucks. He stinks.
Cannot be on the field.
And
what bothered me more, I'll tell you what bothered me more than getting beat on the double move. He's jogging after he got beat on. Did you see that he jogged after he got beat on the double move?
He didn't finish it off at all. And I don't mean to burst anybody's bubble, but Daniel Jones just basically threw like a 70-yard touchdown pass. So we have that going for us.
Okay. Oh, I don't care anymore. I never really cared.
You're right. You're right. I just got mad. Why do I care? Jaxson Dart's gritty.
Yeah, fine. Anakin Skywalker. I'm painting my. But I'm gonna save it. Save that later. Save that for later.
I think you tipped
the funny, off. And I still get mad that this coaching staff benched Drew Phillips last week, who, by the way, interception, 4 passes defense today. Drew Phillips is going to allow some plays, but I think all corners that aren't top tier corners are going to allow plays. But
he is small. I understand all that, and yes, I'm wearing my Drew Phillips jersey today,
as you should.
Drew Phillips, pound for pound, and yes, he's small on poundage, is the best player in the Giants secondary. I'm sorry, he is. The numbers of being targeted don't tell the Drew Phillips story. He is instinctual. He does get killed because of his size. But all that toughness we're talking about with Scadaboo and Dart, that's the guy that exhibits it on the defense to me. So I live with the bad for Drew Phillips. I didn't love that he was benched a week ago, but I thought he showed
up. Or Deonte Banks.
Yeah. He's the anti-Deonte Banks.
Kills me.
No question about it. So I'm Team Drew. Weird game for Holland. I want to go back and watch as well. I felt like that he also took that terrible penalty earlier. I forget when that happened in the game, where they just zoomed in on him, and we never got a replay because I thought CBS was terrible with their broadcast. But overall, again, 18 points. I'm going to keep telling myself 18 points. Has Jude McAtamney earned the job? You don't even want to see Young Wei Koo?
He won it this week.
He's got to kick next week, right?
I wasn't there at practice. Now, there was an opportunity to kick a 57-yard field goal, and they decided to punt.
Thank you. And that's where Jamie Gillen came through, because if that was a net of 20 yards, I tweeted in real time too, that would have been my biggest anti-Dable gripe of the day.
Yeah.
You're in no man's land, and I know it's in 11. What if you go for it and get a pass interference? I didn't like the net, but they end up getting to the 11 at that point, and you netted from there. Overall, there were still parts of this game where I was questioning Brian Dable, but even for him now too, right, Justin? I mean, this has to be a week where he's thumping his chest around that Quest Diagnostics going, I made the quarterback change. I've told the world it was my quarterback change, and we won a freaking game. Let me do it my way.
I did it my way. What else? Do we want to just get to miscellaneous stuff now instead of anything specific?
I'm out of specifics. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm out of specifics too. We talked about Dex. Dex continued to look good, even outside of the interception.
Burns, Carter.
On. Burns, Carter, five quarterback hits. Five.
Yeah. Back to Dart with the sacks. All right. Miscellaneous for me.
Miscellaneous.
How funny was it that Russell Wilson got sacked the moment he came in? Now that we won.
It's kind of what happens.
Now that we won. Now that we can laugh about it. That is kind of funny that he comes in after this benching. And I feel bad too, because Russ, a couple of those moments, right? He was the first one to go over to Nabers when he got hurt. I think there was a moment where he picked up Theo Johnson when he got knocked out hard on the sideline. Russ was pretty engaged on the sideline, but nonetheless, very funny that he got sacked the moment he came into the game.
Before we get talking about miscellaneous stuff, I forgot that we have another ad. And this episode is brought to you by Square, because sports are something that help bring neighborhoods together, whether it's a sports bar dedicated to a specific fan base or a game day ritual involving the best wings in town. Neighborhood businesses help grow communities, including my favorite pizzeria, Ciro's Pizzeria. Neighborhood businesses help make a community feel unique and welcoming. I actually told my local pizzeria, I said, you know what I do for work? I like talk about football and stuff, and it's like, I've been talking about your pizza spot on my podcast. You're like, oh my God, you got to send me an excerpt. I'm like, I will. I just said excerpt when talking about a podcast clip. When local shops are successful, the whole area benefits. Shopping nearby keeps money circulating locally. Did you know that I was invited to my local pizzeria's owner's wedding? That's how you know you're doing it right. You can go to square.com/giants to learn more. But before you do, go support your favorite neighborhood spot. You'll be happy you did. Square. See you in the neighborhood. I want to talk about Cam Scadaboo's mannerisms are some of the more funny things. I enjoy watching Cam Scadaboo just operate being a human being, because one of the things that he does is he'll just shake his head. He shakes his head at various points during him on the football field. And I honestly think he needs to put things in the right spot, because stuff gets moved around up there that I think he needs to put it back, and then he's ready to go. The second thing, he plays possum every time that he's down on the ground, and he doesn't get up until he sees that there is another human being that is wearing the same color jersey as him. Okay, you're going to help me up now. I will put my hands up to move. But before that happens, he lays down on the ground and he plays dead and he plays possum.
I haven't picked up on that. That's pretty funny.
I
feel like he always does the legs out extended. Let me leap up as I'm laying on the ground.
No, he flips. He flips, which I don't know if I want him flipping every time he scores.
Yeah.
But if I could do a backflip, I would do it all the time.
I got a little breaking news for you. Justin, our time to backflip in our lives is long over.
You just challenged me. You don't know how athletic I am.
I have an idea.
You have an idea. Yeah, Cam Scadaboo's mannerisms are really funny. I just like watching him operate being a human being. And we won, Shaun.
We won. We won a football game. We won our first game ahead of our game recap on Talking Giants.
1-0 in the Shaun Morash, Justin Pennick Talking Giants era.
The Shaun Morash, Justin Pennick, Jaxson Dart Talking Giants era. I think we're a three-headed monster now.
I'm going to do this regardless of what you do.
Okay.
I have put in the company Slack. I need somebody to bring eye black to work tomorrow.
Oh.
I am going to put eye black on in the office tomorrow, and I'm going to do everything with that eye black on. Are you going to join me in that effort?
So you want me to show up to WFAN with that?
Or even put it on there. Or I may go home with eye black. That's even a better social experiment and idea.
I can only do it if you're going to do it.
If somebody brings it to work, I'm going to do it.
I have a Dick's up the block for me. I'm going to get it tomorrow. I'm in.
Great.
Let's do it.
Great. All right, so we're going to wear eye black.
Yes. I love this idea.
I am sad about Malik Nabers now. I will be more sad tomorrow.
I will be too. But you know what? We've been sad a long time, and we'll have plenty of time to be sad. I think tonight you put your head on the pillow as a Giant fan and just go, we won a freaking football game to start Jaxson Dart's career, and we beat an undefeated good team too. This wasn't the Carolina Panthers.
Now, technically, we're 1-0 because I now don't count the first 3 games.
I agree. I said this on multiple channels. This was reopening day, so they are 1-0.
So there's an opportunity next week against the Saints to go 2-0.
Yes. But don't count on that right now. We'll get to that preview pod later on. They've played well for a couple weeks in a row.
Can we get Evan and Tiki in eye black?
I think Tiki would do it. I don't know about Evan. Here's the problem. We're all psyched up. You got to realize there's an Evan Roberts world where the Mets are about to be eliminated from the playoffs, and he's not going to be in the mood.
And the Jets are playing Monday night.
Oh, good point. Oh, how nice is that? Watch a Jet game without any worry in the world because the Giants won.
It's going to be a yucky game, though.
Oh, let me end with this. I no longer give 2 craps if Darren Waller scores a touchdown on Monday night in his debut like every other guy who's left the Giants has.
Disagree. We need him to catch 50 balls this year. I want that 7th-round pick back.
Oh, good point. Okay, good point. So we root Darren Waller on Monday night.
Darren Waller has a lot of work to do. He has to catch 50 balls in a span of 12, 13 games. Let's go.
I love that. Justin, I love that for us.
That's what we're rooting for.
We're on the Darren Waller train.
That's what we're rooting for. Comment below what your favorite Jaxson Dart moment throw was today. Hopefully he doesn't play as much like a lunatic next week, but that's he's not just a lunatic. He's our lunatic. So, Shaun, anything else, man, before we wrap it up?
Nothing. Just this is weird and good at the same time. I having so much fun with the Giants, but like they won the game. It's the little things in life, Justin. My whole week's demeanor has changed. The Giants have won a football game.
I'm at the 52.5-minute mark of a Talking Giants show, and I don't want to end it necessarily.
But you know what? We will end it, and I'm going to go enjoy some hibachi, some victory hibachi.
Do that. I think I have God, what is it called? I have Reuben sandwiches waiting for me.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah,
Victory Reubens.
When are we? Am I going to invite myself up to your place?
You're always welcome. You just tell me the game. We'll make it happen.
And then
you just tell me the game.
We'll do a post-game pod together.
That's very easy. Very stable internet in the Morash compound.
Wow. All right.
You figure out your schedule. You tell me.
We'll put
open door,
together.
baby. All right?
All right. Thank you all for watching. I will see you for a midweek episode where we're going to talk even more about Jaxson Dart's debut. We're going to get a chance to watch him more. We'll get a chance to talk about stats. And then you will see Shaun and I back together on Friday for the Saints preview, where the Giants will look to start what we call a winning streak. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hey, how about this? Like, comment, subscribe. If you're listening on the pod apps, how about you leave a 5-star rating? I don't think that does anything anymore, but leave a 5-star rating regardless. Like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube. Appreciate everybody. The Giants are 1-0 in the Jaxson Dart, Shaun Morash, Talk of Giants, Justin Pennick era. We'll see you later in the week.